You just posted a story on social media. Maybe it was a picture from a fun night out. Maybe it was a selfie when you were feeling good. Maybe it was just a song to describe your mood. You think nothing of it as you continue on with your day, later, to notice that they viewed it. Repeat this over days, weeks, months. They're always there. They're always watching. They left you, but continue to watch your every move. For a second, you begin to feel something. It isn't happiness, it isn't closure, it's something worse, confusion. If they're still watching me, why aren't they reaching out? Why no, hey, how have you been? Why not attempt to reconnect? This is where most people begin to feel stuck in a cycle of, do they actually care? Do they want me from a distance? Your mind will naturally begin to build a story that feels logical, but with emotional problems, logical doesn't make sense. If they didn't care, they wouldn't be watching doesn't always quite mean the literal. What if that logical assumption is what's keeping you stuck? This isn't typically random behavior. It actually follows studied and researched psychological pattern to a T. Let's start with something subtle. Social media has changed how we interpret attention. Because now, someone can be a part of your daily life without ever even speaking to you. Every time that you post a story, your brain expects and assumes engagement to come. A message, a reaction, a sign that somebody is interested or cares to some extent. So whenever you see your ex's name in your viewers list, your mind instantly interprets it as, they're still here, they're still a part of my life, they still care, but here's the important distinction that comes along with that. Say this out loud. Watching a story is not an interaction. It's not a reach out. It's observation, and that's all that it really is. What comes with watching a story, you may wonder? No vulnerability, no risk, no rejection. That's what. Think of being able to stay updated on somebody's life as a window or a portal into their world. It's access, and as long as they have access to you, they may never actually feel the need to reach out. What are they curious about? They have all of the access they need right here, through that story, that window into your life. So, what does this typically mean for how they actually feel? And what should you do? Well, it doesn't mean you need to stop posting stories or anything like that. However, there is the option of posting stories under a private setting so they no longer get the easy access into your world without having to ask about it. If you feel as if they haven't earned that type of personal access anymore, then that can definitely be a step in the right direction to freeing yourself from this endless loop of wondering. For why they watch your stories though, there are actually a couple of different possibilities for that. The first, habit behavior. This one honestly hurts the most, but is the most unlikely. Habit behavior essentially is the idea that they are not consciously choosing to view it, but rather, your name appears, they see a new story has been posted, they click, view it, and move on with zero thought behind it. If you and this person had a meaningful connection in the past though, this is rarely the case. Think back on your first relationship, your first crush, or even a childhood best friend or family member, anybody that you shared a deep personal bond with. You haven't forgotten that, have you? Bonds formed through relationships are actually almost never forgotten. At least not fully. You'll never have to remind somebody about the connection you shared with them. They'll always remember that part of their life with you, no matter how much time has passed. The second possibility of why they watch is a little more common, and that is that they have curiosity, but are actively choosing to not re-enter it themselves. They like the visibility and access to your life. They like seeing what's been going on with you and what's new. But they are either feeling emotions of guilt, regret, or worry as to why they won't just reach out and ask about you themselves. Sometimes as well, they may feel like they miss you at times and enjoy this portal to your world, but they don't have any intentions of wanting to rekindle anything at the same time. And they may fear that by reaching out and asking about you directly that you could interpret this as signs that they want to reconnect and get back together one day. So instead, they take the easy way by staying away. The third possibility, maybe the most uncomfortable, but that is that they are purposely creating emotional distance from you. Sometimes, even if someone still feels something, they may still not feel enough to actually act on it. They may think about you, wonder how you're doing, wonder if you're seeing anybody new, and even at times feel some nostalgia and miss the times you shared together. But that emotion alone doesn't equal intention. You can miss somebody and want to check up on them, but still choose distance if you believe that's what's best. The fourth possibility, ego and reassurance. In this possibility, it's not even about you at all, it's about them. Watching your story becomes a quiet form of reassurance. They're still here, they're still visible to me. I still have access to this part of their life. It's subtle, but powerful, and almost creates the sense of connection they enjoyed and might even miss. But it leaves out the responsibility aspect of it. Trust me though, I know it feels so personal because it creates a direct contradiction. This person decided to leave you and give up what you had together, but still chooses to watch you, think about you, and sometimes even engage with you in the forms of likes or comments. What gives them the right to do that? Don't they realize how hurt you've been? Distance, but presence, silence, but visibility. It's honestly selfish in a way, but the most important thing that may hurt is that you must accept that their story viewing is still a sign of distance more than it is connection. It doesn't always mean they miss you. It doesn't always mean they still like you. And it most certainly doesn't always mean they still want to come back to you. One thing that you have to remember, even when you're hurting or feeling nostalgia towards this person, if they want to be in your life, they don't just observe you. They move toward you. They reach out. They initiate conversation. They engage. Even if it's awkward, even if it's imperfect, the one thing that they do is act. A relationship takes the effort of all parties involved, not just one. If you are constantly the one reaching out, carrying the conversation, or even putting yourself into places where they may notice you or say hello, that isn't going to be healthy in the long run. They can watch your stories all they want to, but no matter which possibility it is, if they aren't making a genuine effort to reach out and interact with you directly, I wouldn't take it as a sign of effort on their end at all. I know that can be tough to hear, especially if the breakup is recent, but if they wanted to initiate something direct, you would know it. It wouldn't be through story views on social media or what is known as breadcrumbs. Unfortunately, that is just the tough love part of it all. The key thing to ask yourself during moments like this are not, why are they watching me, but not messaging, but something more along the lines of, have they actually chosen me through their actions recently? Or are they just observing? Because in the end, that's really the only question that matters. Truth be told though, you are most certainly not alone. Relationships, while they can be broken down by studied psychological principles, are not ever one-dimensional. People are different, and every relationship between people are going to be different and unique to each other. However, almost everybody at some point has felt the moment where you realize you may start separating attention from intention, and that's when the world begins to feel clearer and quieter, and helps you move on in the long run. You may be thinking you don't want to move on, or that you can't move on, and no matter what, you're going to find a way to make this work. But I promise you that there is nothing one person can do to change somebody's mind entirely. At least, it's not common at all. The relationship requires intention and effort from every party involved. So your ex, they need to do more than watch your stories on social media. Story watching, while it could be positive for what you'd like your outcome to be in the future, doesn't always mean one thing or another, and in today's digital world, is way more common than ever before. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. This can be applied here. If you just continue wondering why your ex is watching your stories but never reaching out, you should never expect them to reach out because of it, as what they're doing is comfortable. Something needs to change. Here at The Love Lens, we dive deep into the psychological aspects of relationships and break them down into why certain behaviors are acted upon and why other behaviors are often avoided. Don't let them live rent-free in your head by doing something as simple as viewing a story. Always remember that though there are multiple possibilities as to why they are doing this, None of them equal actual attention and effort. Sometimes, the truth does hurt, but the truth will set you free.